Lex, there is no African football without drama. There is no
Oh,
African football without it's near perfect, but
but something happened.
something shall happen. There's no African football without
Yep.
intense coke and intense popcorn. And
Yep.
of course, this is the AFCON 2025 review. And of course, Senegal versus the host country Morocco. I went head to head yesterday. It was a cracker of a final. And of course, Senegal crowned champions after a lot of hula baloo, a lot of basketballs, a lot of kri 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 kri, a lot of kuru kere kere waka. But then again, thank you so much for joining us this morning, myself and Lex. Super excited to bring to you the tea, everything happening in the world of sports. I mean, as it concerns the AFCON to be specific. And thank you so much for your incredible support. We see your support and it's been really, really encouraging. Thank you for rocking with us and riding with us. And this time around, we just want to gist with you. So wanted to hear and know what you think,
Yeah.
your opinion about everything that's happening and has happened with the AFCON 2025. Let's talk about the final, Morocco versus Senegal.
You say, let's talk about the movie.
Okay, let's talk about the movie. Yes, because that shit's supposed to be on
Because
Netflix.
I'm telling you, I mean, the
Yeah.
writers of that plot, the plot twist, the everything, I mean, the writers were, they should
Superb.
they should be getting
Oscar.
Oscars
Straight
for
up.
that, for writing that. But the fact remains that, like you said earlier, there is no AFCON without drama.
Right.
And this is why a lot of even foreign contingents have locked on AFCON.
Right.
For example, Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
Mourinho is in fact, he's the biggest fan of AFCON.
Right.
Says AFCON is as intense as it can get. And that is what we saw yesterday, a proper final. Although it had a lot of, but let's not forget also that before the game of Nigeria against Morocco, I told you that game was going to be the final before finals. And let's not forget what happened for the finals. It was a masterclass of a final. It was not short of anything a perfect football game and a very imperfect football game should have. So it was a blend and a mix of everything, and it was somewhere in between. Drama, players leaving the pitch, coaches asking even officials and players, bench players stealing towels. I wonder if the hotel they lodged did not have towels.
So
I mean,
let's talk about the imperfections because you talked about perfect and imperfect.
Yep.
So let's deal with the imperfections. First of all, I agree with you. It was a cracker of a final. Senegal versus Morocco was something off the books. And like you said, the people who scripted that entire piece.
Oscar
Yeah.
worthy. That was a proper movie.
If you're not getting an
It had
Oscar,
everything.
you've been robbed of an Oscar, to be very honest. But let's look into the imperfections. What went wrong in that final?
I mean, we cannot talk about the finals without talking about the penultimate games to the finals.
Right.
Right. And one of the penultimate games to the finals was Nigeria against Morocco.
Right.
And we saw what happened in that game. A lot of Nigerians were aggrieved because of what happened in that game. A lot of 50-50 challenges that went Morocco's way.
Yeah.
Questions were asked.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
This was a 50-50 game. You leave both of them, let them go and fight for it.
Yeah.
But then, in fact, it wasn't some. All of the challenges, all of the 50-50 challenges, and even some ridiculous ones went Morocco's way. Why? What happened? What is going on?
So you feel there was some type of plot against the Nigerian team.
I said it before that game that it was a conspiracy theory as at then, but right now, seeing what we have seen in the final, I think it's right now no longer a conspiracy theory. It was actually a fact. Somebody said before the Nigerian game that Morocco has maintained the same set of officials in all of their games from the group stage till that Nigerian game. And look at what happened in the Nigerian game and look at what happened now in the finals. It simply means that either one to agree, yes, we don't have proof, but we can still make bold to say, yes, from what we have seen, from the deductions we can make from these games, we can say something is actually up. And this was evident. Look at it. The Senegal coach asked the players to leave. That was a protest. To me, it was a needed protest. Something needs to die before something wakes up. And that was the moment where Africa said, or Senegal said on behalf of the rest of Africa,
who were in support of Senegal.
Yes, who were in support of
Because
Senegal.
most African countries were in support of Senegal.
What they wouldn't know, though, what they wouldn't know is either you were in support of Senegal or not, Senegal spoke on behalf of everybody. Senegal spoke on behalf of everybody. And what happened yesterday, yes, if it had continued, if Senegal refused to come back on the pitch, it would have attracted fines and suspension and whatever. But the fact remains that they made a statement.
Yeah.
A statement of, no, this is an injustice and we cannot continue to condone this.
What is the injustice?
The injustice was refereeing was biased.
How?
Look at what happened in the game, right? There was a penalty call. And first of all, Senegal had a penalty call. It wasn't given. Morocco had a penalty call, very soft. It was given, right? Senegal had a goal wrongly ruled out.
When you say wrongly ruled out, the antecedents.
This was what happened.
Yes.
This was what happened.
Walk me through that.
Right. This was what happened.
We need to have context. Yes.
There was a scuffle, soft, before the goal.
Yeah.
And this was why VAR did not intervene, because the whistle went before the ball got into the net.
Yeah.
If the whistle was not blown before the ball got into the net, maybe, just maybe, that goal would have stood.
But there could still have been a chance to check it, because when you
even if they checked, the ball did not get into the net before the
whistle went. So
yes.
That means
even if
quickly
they checked,
blew the whistle.
Yes, before the ball got into the net. So that was where the problem was. As at that point, Senegal and the rest of Africa were aggrieved. The rest of Africa, apart from the North Africans.
Yeah. But I mean, if you look at some Algerians, were
some Algerians were happy, yes. But let's just take
Senegal,
like 2% of North Africans and say, let's join them to the rest of Africa. They were aggrieved. Like, this was a clear goal. You can't rule out a goal because of this incident. This incident is 50-50.
Yeah.
You can't, this is impossible. Yes, this is impossible. Why would you do this? Yeah, they were aggrieved. Goal ruled out. And then on the other side, you gave a penalty. Why would you do that? A penalty that was very soft. In fact, it wasn't supposed to be a penalty.
But then he went over to the VAR and he checked it for a couple times.
That is where we can confirm that it's a conspiracy. Because if I did not make the decision alone, I consulted 3 other referees and they told me to go ahead. That is an alibi. You created an alibi for yourself as a referee. Allegedly, in capital letters. So I mean, it's just everything we saw yesterday, the things that went wrong. But this is why we started with the writers of this script should be given an Oscar. All of them, as many as they might be, all of them should be given an Oscar. Look at what happened. Their coach asked them to leave the pitch in protest. Apparently, they needed to air their anger a certain way. They don't have to fight.
Was that the best? Was that the best way?
I mean, that was the best thing to do. If what other way could they have expressed their anger? Fight on the pitch? I mean,
probably
throw
not.
Blows?
Probably
No,
not.
That's not sportsmanship. The only silent, very loud, silent way to air their anger is to walk away. They did.
I like the paradox you threw in there, the silent but loud way.
Yes.
Now, when you look at African football and over time, some of the things that have actually happened in this competition, especially the AFCON, right? You want to say refereeing has always been one of the most inconsistent parts of the game.
Actually,
but when you look at the last AFCON,
exactly, that's where I wanted to go.
We were celebrating the refereeing and the decisions and saying,
VAR,
it was perfect.
It was fourth official,
and it was
perfect.
and it actually even became a yardstick
for Premier League.
For the Premier League,
yes, because a lot of people were
so
making references.
What happened
saying,
this time?
I mean, Motsepe or something.
Motsepe, the CAF president.
Yes. I wanted to say the coach of Mamelodi Sundowns in South Africa. I've forgotten
his name now.
Mamelodi Sundowns. He made a complaint. I think it was 2 years ago. That this was in Algeria. I think a club in Casablanca, Wydad Casablanca.
Yeah,
they played Wydad Casablanca.
That's Egypt.
Yes.
Wydad
is Morocco.
Wydad is Morocco. Yes.
So they played them.
I remember that incident. Yes,
right.
He was very furious.
and he was.
Yes, I remember.
He was very furious.
Yeah, I saw the clip.
And he made a statement. He said, "These North Africans, they are always bullying everybody. They are always bullying everybody. If they try it with
To
us,
come, yes,
now
I remember.
we are going to bully them back because we have to retaliate. We cannot
Yeah.
keep silent. We cannot continue to be silent." And that is to tell you that there's an antecedent.
Yeah.
And with what we've seen play out in this competition so far with Morocco, it was obvious that a certain power that be wanted Morocco to retain this trophy. It just wasn't meant to be.
Just an allegation.
Yes, allegedly.
Allegedly.
In capital letters, yes.
Anyways,
caveats.
I see where all of this is coming from, and I think we've been able to draw a line between, how this burst and what is causing, and the rage is causing, and almost like a very divisive tool right now, because the refereeing, the officiating, the things that are very glaring, and the things we see being practically overlooked, because from the refereeing, from the officials of the Moroccan team or the home soil, involving themselves in stealing towels, playing mind games, and bullying players, warfare, and all of that,
to give them security,
all of that. So
the war started even before the whistle band.
Yes. So for me, I think that when you look at this holistically, you want to say that they actually really, really spoiled the good thing that they were supposed to have, held in their hands and said, this is quite monumental. We hosted the AFCON and it was the best.
Yes.
Right. We know of South Africa hosting the World Cup, and I think that's one of the best World Cups.
One of the best
that we've ever seen.
One of the best.
Right. So Africa has a very high chance to host high-level competitions. Yes. But then when we start to mine it with this kind of inconsistencies, it begs the question. But then again, let's move away from all of that and talk about the resilience of the Senegalese team.
Come on.
You have to actually give it to them, and then big ups and big claps to the one and only Sadio Mane.
There was a name that Jurgen Klopp likes to use, mentality monsters.
Yeah.
When he was at Liverpool, he uses that a lot to describe his players. It means never give up until it's over.
Yeah.
When it's over, then we can rest. But even if it's just 3 seconds before the end of the game, you can never give up. Yeah. And that was what Senegal showed. Yes, they went off the pitch in frustration because of the decision.
And rightly
on the pitch.
so.
And rightly so, yes. And rightly so. I agree. And rightly so. But Mane, who ironically was part of the Jurgen Klopp mentality monsters, right? He asked them to come back on the pitch. Let us come and face these people like men. We are not going to chicken out.
Yeah.
Let us come and face them like men. If they want to show that they have people in power that can influence decisions, no problem. Let's just play and know that we did our best. And they came back. After they came back, this was why we have to say again that the people that wrote this plot needs an Oscar. They came back on the pitch. The penalty was supposed to be played before they left. They came back. The penalty was played. Brahim Diaz played a Panenka that was supposed to embarrass the...
Now, that's the place I was going to. So that Panenka, right?
Oh, my God.
Was that intentional from Brahim Diaz?
No, come on. No,
to save football?
Let's not be ridiculous. No.
I mean, let's look at it holistically.
No, let's not be ridiculous. That would be a ridiculous claim.
Okay.
Either way you look at it, it would be a ridiculous claim.
I'll tell you why it might not be a ridiculous claim.
Tell me.
So, there is a claim of injustice and everybody's leaving the pitch.
Apparently, yes.
Quote and unquote. Right? And then after a long tussle, back and forth, Mane says, okay, everybody, come back out. And this protest was led by the coach for himself. It was like, guys, come on, we're done with this. Just give them the cup already. Right? They came back out. And if you look at the way that Brahim Diaz begged so much for this penalty. In fact, when he went down, he never stopped screaming. He was screaming, they don't kill me, want to buy me, and then that prompted the referee to go to the VAR and the back and forth, and then he gave the penalty. Now, with what's happening, some people said, okay, maybe there were some conversations in the dugout or stuff. Because when you look at that penalty, there is no way in the final, less than 1 minute to go, you're playing that kind of penalty. If not me, not to use that boss, even though the keeper can't go deaf.
The next go
boss. To summon the team. Like, how you playing a
You play like Alex of Chelsea those days.
shoot the ball. So
I
for me,
mean-
I'm thinking maybe he was just saying, okay, we have 30 minutes to slug it out, and probably,
Let's do something.
we were already pressing them, quote and unquote. And I don't know what to believe right now. But then again, do you think that was intentional from Brahim Diaz?
Well, thank you for that. To even think remotely that was intentional. And the reason is simple. Football players and football teams, their main intention to being on the pitch is to win football games. That is their ultimate goal, being on the pitch. And definitely nobody, even if it was remotely considered for, let's say, oh yeah, people have been complaining. Do you think that setup that we saw Morocco portraying, do you think that setup is going to consider anything apart from winning that game? Do you think so?
One
Does
question
it?
mark.
I mean, do you think that setup, stealing of towels,
Hijacking, don't say still.
well,
Hijack.
by trick, stealing by trick,
Collecting.
that fair enough.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough.
I mean, that setup, the team, the players, the ball boys, the security,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like it was set up for them to lose that game.
Absolutely
But-
correct.
So, for us to even think that one of their best players, one of the best player in that team,
Right.
by miles, one of the best player in that competition by miles,
Highest goal scorer.
highest goal scorer of that competition by miles, is not going to agree to lose that penalty. No. Panenka was for a reason,
To humiliate.
to humiliate. And interestingly, it can go both ways.
Absolutely.
It can either humiliate the goalkeeper
Or make it look
humiliate
ridiculous.
the player.
Mhm.
So, and in that situation, it humiliated the player. And it's as simple as that. What if, let's ask this question, right? What if the keeper dived to the right or to the left, to the extreme left, and then the ball went in? What would you have said?
I think that would have actually been a bigger problem, because I know now that the Senegalese are going to say, you know what, we're going to allow you win, but we're not going to go out without a fight. That whole stadium was scattered because, first of all, Senegalese fans were already like getting to the pitch to go and invade the pitch.
Yes.
So I felt like maybe Brahim, I thought about it like, okay, I need to save this whole situation. But then again,
Brahim is young.
with your explanation, I understand clearly that every football player wants to win a game of football and all of that. And then
And especially
the
not
psychological warfare.
losing
Yes.
the game of.
But then again, when you look at the
Cup of
timing,
Nations.
it's less than a minute to close the game out and see the game out, and then you're playing that kind of Panenka that is so disgraceful. Anyways,
I mean, it's either you are very confident or you are very stupid.
so this time around, what are your claims?
You are very confidently stupid. I mean,
Respectfully to Brahim Diaz,
well, due respect to you, bro.
but no respect. Anyways, the truth of the matter is, listen, we need to close now. Now, with all of this happening, and Senegal, beautiful goal.
I mean,
Beautiful goal.
there's no better way to write a script.
That is how to make a proper statement. And then, of course, it was a very, very good end to the whole. Because imagine when that situation popped up, the whole of Africa, everybody going insane. I mean, I can't remember the name of from where I was watching the game, the commentator was going berserk and saying, no, this is bullshit. He couldn't even hide his frustration. He was using words that he couldn't have used on set. It was like, what is this? He's so furious. Even Mikel Obi, everybody going bonkers. But then beautifully, ended in favor of the Senegalese team. Of football. So safe to say, Senegal saved football, saved us from the Third World War.
Yeah.
Anyways, now with all of this happening, then there's also Nigeria also taking third place, beating Egypt. Wonderful saves from our chief Nwabali, saving Mamouchi's saving Mamouchi's penalty, and the one and only Mo Salah.
I mean, the two top players in that team.
Yeah, but then again, we didn't see them at the medal celebration of collecting their bronze medal. Is that a decline for the setup of African football as it concerns AFCON? Because ideally, the third place is supposed to wait to get their medals. Are you saying that the frustration for not going into the final affected that or made them take that decision? Because for someone like Victor Osimhen, who's a big player, jetted out of camp, came to Lagos to come and party with Tunde Perry, and some of our African superstars as well, Nigerian superstars, I beg your pardon, leaving camp to go to their respective clubs. And we see all the banters going on. Somewhere like one body says, use my towel. Make gonna use my towel on teeth, take clean on tears. And someone like Akko Adam saying God is real, God is the realest, and all of that. So light banters, however it is you want to say. But then my question, just to wrap up this entire piece, is with the setup we have seen now, what needs to change regarding AFCON? Better officials or better showing from the host country?
I think it's a mix of both. Or there can be no good football without good officiating.
Yeah.
Right? You can be the best and you can be the most frustrated
Mm-hmm.
if the officiating is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Officiating is not supposed to take the center stage of football.
Mm-hmm.
Footballers are supposed to take the center stage.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do the talking with your leg.
Mm-hmm.
As an official of the game, your job is to ensure that the game remains a game
Mm-hmm.
and not a war.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, in your head, you might be fighting a war as a player, as a
Mm-hmm.
football player,
Mm-hmm.
but as a referee or as an official of the game, your job is to maintain a football game.
But then again,
it's not to make it about yourself.
You can't take away the pressure of like high-level football games.
I
like
understand.
Finals, semi-finals.
That's where we
comes
can
with a
talk
lot of
about
pressure.
the referees like Colina.
Oh man.
I mean, let's. Some referees have actually played. They've officiated these games and they stood out.
Maybe it was easy for Colina because it wasn't the era of VRs. I don't think Colina even needs a VR.
Colina has 4 eyes.
decisions.
Colina refereed
legend.
in games
a
where
legend.
absolute legends were filled. They filled the pitch.
Yes,
We
absolutely
are
correct.
legends of the game, and they were in their prime.
Absolutely
Then
correct.
you talk to Colina. Colina tells you to shut your mouth. I have decided, and I need you to respect it.
Yeah, that's quite good command.
But he never made it about himself.
Absolutely.
He never made it up. But what the referees and the officials are doing these days, they are making the game about themselves.
They're celebrities.
Look at what happened with the referee of Nigeria Morocco.
He's in Ghana now granting interviews.
You can imagine.
TikTok now.
Secondly,
Big TikTok challenge now.
And secondly, why I said it's a mixture of both is this. We cannot also have a good competition without proper planning.
Yeah.
And without the sportsmanship of the host nations.
Yeah.
Right? The host nation needs to show that, yes, we are playing our part but we are playing our part as hosts of this competition, but we also want to play a proper football game, a proper game of football. So they should stop being doing all this do or die rather. Mm-hmm. It's that we win or we win. Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't work like that. Mm-hmm. In a game of football, there are 3 results. It's either you win, you draw, you lose.
Absolutely.
And you have to, in the proper spirit of sportsmanship, have to take these results whenever they come your way. It's as simple as that.
Thank you so much, Lex. I mean, that's a lot of conversations. We've been talking because, I mean, it's quite like the cracker of all crackers. Like, the final was mind-blowing. But to be very honest, it was an enjoyable game. The experiences from the side of the players, the fans, and everybody who watched the AFCON, there are big lessons for us to learn there. Like Lex said, please, referees, do not make the game about yourself. I know you want to be famous and stuff. Go on TikTok. There's a chance for you to do that on TikTok. Or Twitch. Can be streaming, join Kadafe or something. But please, if it's football, can we respect the game and be very fair? But then again, congratulations once again to Senegal. Congratulations to I'll say congratulations to Morocco. Silva, no bad. Silva are good. At least.
I have none. Some people have none.
We didn't have, even Nigerians we don't get, but we carry brooms. Which is good. But then we've got big lessons for AFCON and the organizers, and of course CAF itself. But guys, what do you say in the comment section? Do you think Brahim Diaz missed that penalty on purpose? Lex doesn't think so. I think maybe there's a chance that he missed it on purpose. And of course, who do you think are the worthy winners? Who do you think should have gotten to the final and didn't make it to the final? Let's have all these bits and pieces in the comment section. And of course, we'll be responding to everyone as to get them. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.